Hello, awesome people. I hope you are having just an absolutely magnificent day today. Today, I'm taking a look at my top 10 mechs from the for BattleTech for the 2750 year, back in the end of the Star League. It's the second technical readout. This is a sequel to last week's back in the era, right before the Fourth Succession War in 3025, and that technical readout for you folks. And so, again, as a reminder, because this, in case there are people out there that don't know a whole lot about BattleTech, BattleTech is a war game. It's set in the far future, and in it we have advanced out there magnificently into the universe, but we have not found any aliens, and so forth. We're the only people out there, and we take our own best sides of us and our own worst sides of us too. I think it's pretty darker, but obviously I think it's a pretty realistic take of it too, and such. And so you're piloting BattleTechs or BattleMechs or tanks or infantry, planes, that sort of a thing, and fighting the good fight. And so basically what's happening with the mechs in the first era that we did is in the era before Lost Tech was invented and so forth, and that book was introduced and such, and had a lot of great battle mechs and so forth with the 4 different classes. Lighter mechs that are more for scouting from 20 tons to 35 tons, then medium mechs from 40 to 45 tons that are more like the workhorses, that have a lot of different roles, different speeds, different roles for combat. And then the heavier mechs from 60 to 75 tons that are more about the heavier stuff and really sort of dialing it out, the stuff, taking how much. And then the assault mechs from 80 to 100. Those are all about the big baddies and such that dominate battlefields and such. So I did my top 10, which I'll link to in the comments below. Also linking to this in the comments below to the TRO that this is a sequel to. Now this goes back in time prior to the Star League following, and it has all the great technology that we lost over the years of the Succession Wars and so forth, and we were our worst selves to each other, and now we're starting to, and so this was the last gasp of the great time of peace of the mankind of the Star League for hundreds of years that united the universe in all of our goodness and such, right, and such. So this is the last technical readout that sort of introduces a lot of those sorts of things. Now, because it is the first time that we see these things, I don't think these mechs are very well designed, and we don't have a lot of them, not nearly as many as we had in 3025. So I think that this book is a little less great. That book was deep. You could have tons of top 10 lists. I just have one top 10 list. I could have another 2 or 3 easily, right? But yeah. So anyway, BattleTech again is my favorite war game. I've been playing it since junior high. Love it lots. Played it pretty regularly when I was growing up and such. So it's good stuff. Love it lots. And I've been playing it pretty regularly and so forth. I play it online. You can play it on MegaMek in solo mode, or with others in like onliner, or with like MekWars, BattleTech, or in the computer game and such. There's also lots of other stuff too, from role-playing games to Saturday morning cartoons that have been based on this, right? And you know, toys and board games and so forth. So it's a collectible card game, a collectible miniatures game, right? Everybody's done everything from this, right? And so forth. So it's pretty popular stuff. And again, it's my favorite war game too. 10 out of 10. So here's my top 10s again. So I'm going to go over them briefly, what my opinion is of these, and so forth, and why they're on my top 10. So I'm looking at my phone. So if you see me look down at my phone, it's got 22-point font. So you see me looking down at my phone and not giving you the eye contact that you deserve. That's the reason why. So my number 10 is the Thug, and this is the base one, the Thug 11E. This has 2 PPCs and 2 SRM6s, and not a whole lot of heat issues, no XL engine that'll blow up and so forth, which I like. It's good because it punches its own holes, and it follows up with them with the 2 PPCs, and then it follows up with them with the 2 spreads of missiles. Love it lots. I think it's pretty strong stuff. And then the number 9 mech is the Black Knight, and this is the BL6 KNT for you folks. And this has 3 energy, big stuffs, which I like, and then 4 medium lasers to bring it up, and so forth. My main issue with this is that the heat feels a little rough at times, and the Beagle is superfluous. It does have a Beagle Active Pro, like I just mentioned, but a bit of Beagle Pro feels like wasted. The weight on a heavier mech like this, right? You would typically want that on Scout mechs. So it feels like it's wasted tonnage, and I feel like it could have used that ton for more heat sinks, because it feels like it just can't disperse all that heat. So it has some heat issues too, and this is back in the era when heat shouldn't have been as much of an issue, right? And so forth. With all that energy weapons, it has a rough energy dispersals, and so that's my major issues with the Black Knight, and that's what's hitting back there at number 9 for you folks. At number 8 is the Crab CRB27. This has 2 large lasers, again, 2 kind of similar to the 3 bigs and the 2 bigs, although these are all the smaller ones, larger lasers, and so forth, and 16 heat sinks, so it can fire them both, and so forth, because each one of those makes 8 heat if it's standing still, if it's moving or walking, and so forth. And it's got some close-in weapons too. So I think it's pretty good stuff. Also, no XL, which I like on it too, because again, you don't want that kind of a medium mech to be getting blown up and stuff, right? And so forth, very, very early on. Number 7 is the first light mech. It's the Mercury. It's the 20-ton mech. This is the MCY 99. It's kind of like a Locust 1E from the 3022 from one variants, which has 2 medium lasers and 2 small lasers, which is again energy efficient on a fast mech. It goes 812 and has great movement and it's hard to hit because of that reason. So for its great scouting mech, and then because it has mask, it's even faster than that. You can double its speed from its walking speed to 16. That's very, very strong. But again, you have a chance to freeze the first time you use it, and then for each subsequent time you use it, that chance to freeze increases. So it can be dangerous, and you can be your worst enemy if you set yourself up badly, or you just roll bad, right? But anyway, so it's good stuff. Love it lots because of that reason. It's a better Locust and such, and its energy dependency means there's no ammo explosions. There's no damage to that, so you don't have to worry about that sort of a thing. It's not vulnerable, and you don't have to worry about reloading it or running out of ammo and then having to retreat from battle. You can be as battle as long as your opponents can be. So that reason the Mercury's on the list too. At number 7. Now at number 6, the last one before the top 5 proper is the Guillotine. This is the GLT 5M. For you folks, it's got a large laser, SRM6, 4 medium lasers, which are great. Medium lasers at medium range stuff, and it's great stuff. And it's 464, so it has better movement than you might expect from a heavy mech and stuff, which is pretty good, and no XL, which is good. It doesn't have the best weapons to load ever, but it's very, very solid for its size. It's very, very strong, and so forth. Again, with the SRM6 and the 4 medium lasers that are following it up, and then the big stuff to hit and open the holes, the medium lasers to exploit them, and then the MSIMs to find them and hit criticals. It's definitely a strong mech design. So it's my number 6 mech overall. That's the Guillotine. Now hitting the top 5. Number 5 is the Crockett. This is the CRK 5003 L1. This has 3 big guns, like some of the previous ones. So it's great strong stuff. This is an assault mech and such. It's good stuff. It has no XL either. So again, it doesn't have any of those weaknesses that you might have from it and so forth. It's got a 353 movement. So because it jumps, it has the ability to jump into position with its 3 big gun weapons, which is pretty good. And it's got follow-up weapons and 2 SRM6s. Again, great stuff for follow-up with 3 big guns and such. And so the fact that it's really making holes and exploiting them in one mech that also has jump jets and no XL, I think you can see why the Crockett would be my number 5 mech. And now number 4. Number 4 is the Mongoose, the MON 68 and so forth. It has 3 medium lasers and a Beagle probe at 25 tons. It's very, very fast. Great stuff. Love it lots. It also has a small laser too, if I remember correctly. And the Beagle's great. Here, I like the Beagle. I don't like as much right on the heavier mech, on the Black Knight. But here, I do like it lots because it's great at, trying to find secure infantry or people and so forth in that era, or modern stuff, finding, like stealth armor and getting through stuff like stuff and really sort of finding secure positions and such, and so you're a great scout and intel mech on that and so forth, and you got great weapons too. Love it lots. So that's my number 4 mech, the Mongoose, and that's my highest rated light mech. Good stuff. And then my number 3 is the heavy mech called the Exterminator, the EXT4D. This is the one with the null signature system and such, and the baffles and such. Real and make it hard to see and really hard to interact with in a major way. It has the unusual movement for its type. It's the XTD40, by the way, of 696. Very, very unusual. It does have an XL engine. It's my highest hitting XL engine. Sorry. Because of that, but it's because it's so hard to hit and see and so forth. I don't consider it as much of a weakness. And you have the LRM-10. You got the 4 medium lasers, all good stuff. So it's got good good stuff. Double heat sinks and such. So I think it's a good strong mech overall, and it's very, very strong at its its assigned mission of keeping itself off the board, not being noticed, and then taking out things. I've used it a few times successfully as a gamer to infiltrate compounds and that sort of thing, not be found. Good stuff. Love it lots. And then number 2 and number 1. Number 2 is a beloved mech. It's the Highlander. And this is the HGN732 for you folks. It also has a 353 movement on an assault mech, a little bit heavier than the Crockett. No XL engine here either. It has a Gauss rifle, an LRM-20, a bunch of other weapon suits, great stuff. It's got good heat. It doesn't have great heat sinks and so forth, but it doesn't make a lot of heat. But although its backup weapons or medium weapons are some of the lasers and such, so it can make some heat and so forth. But having a jumping mech here and the Crockett too are great because you can relocate them. If somebody chases you down with a scout mech, you can just jump away, or you can jump on top of ridges and hills and cliffs and that sort of a thing that can otherwise be found, or you can get them to a great camp spot. Love them lots. And the Highlander does some powerful stuff. It's just so strong. Love them lots. And then my number 1 mech is my number 1 mech in my heart. It's a medium mech. It's called the Kintaro. This is the KSN 732. This does not have an XL. This is a medium mech and so forth. It's got pretty strong movement. One of the reasons why I like it so much is that this is, I nicknamed this the critical finder. This has so many missiles, an LRM-5, a couple of SRM-6s, and then a NARC if you want to help your missiles hit. Or sometimes I'll just replace it with another SRM-6 just to really push the map. But the Iron Arc really works strongly. Not the Iron Arc, rather the Iron Arc missile. Bar reason, if you equip all your missile mechs in your Lance or your company with NARC equipped missiles, this will definitely really push the game in your way. In a major way in the era. So if you're using, like, for example, the Bombardier or the Longbow, which would be in here if it was actually in the 2750 base one, the original one, and so forth. So you're the Bombardier from this era or whatever. Or maybe you're just using an Atlas or something like that. But that would still have been around in this era. Or just, the Kintaro's mechs, missiles themselves, and giving them all the bonuses on their to hits. It's strong stuff. That will win the game, and plus all these with all the missiles here, the LRM and the SRMs. It's very, very strong at exploiting and finding the holes and blowing up that ammo that other things can have. And the fact that it's got great movement and no XL engine, I like a lot. So that's why the Kintaro's my number 1 mech. So here my top 10 number once again. Number 10 is the Thug. Number 9 is the Black Knight. Number 8 is the Crab. Number 7 is the Mercury. Number 6 is the Guillotine. Number 5 is the Crockett. Number 4 is the Mongoose. Number 3 is the Exterminator. Number 2 is the Highlander. And number 1 is the Kintaro for you folks. And so there you are. So have you played these? What do you think about them? Have you run them? Do you agree or disagree with my list? That's fine. Just let me know what your thoughts are. This is just my list, right? I'm a fan, sure, but my list, that doesn't make my list right or any better than yours. Yours are just as valid as mine are, right? Remember, a technical readout is needed to play the game because you need to have the basic stuff. It's like the monster manual if you play Dungeons and Dragons. That gives you like all the stats and so forth of your mechs. So she typically will want one or two of them to get started. So going over this second one that was released right after with all the later text and stuff, and again I'll link it to in the comments below, as well as my previous review of the top 10 from 30 to 25 for you folks. So this is again 2750. So there you go. If you like this video, why not hit the subscribe button, the like button, the bell icon if you're feeling frisky, and then let your friends know, BattleTech friends, wargame friends, sci-fi fans, all that sort of things. Please let them know. Thanks. And then, as a reminder, this channel is named the worst thing about new books. That's a quote by a French philosopher, Jacques Joubert, who said that the worst thing about them was that they kept us from reading the old ones, right? And there's definitely some older stuff that we might have forgotten about, but it's heavily influential. But in this case, it's not books that we're reading, but games and so forth. And this introduced a lot of technology that would heavily influence the game and so forth. But again, because it was the first one, I just don't think the mechs are as designed as this. Also, in the 3050 intersphere mechs, they're also adding these. I think that a lot of the newer mech designs are not as strong as they should have been. I think the 3055 is much better design mechs, so just as a heads up. So there you are, and those are my thoughts for you folks. So finally, I just want to pause and thank you so much, for taking some time out of your day and investing and watching my video, right? Because we all have so many things that are happening in our lives and we're pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spend this time with me, that's incredibly humbling and I appreciate it once again. So thanks and have a great day.